morning, everyone. How are ya? Alrighty. You know, typical day. Gotta get the animals going. Although, I have to go to, the hospital today because I have to get a biopsy done. So, yeah, that'll be fun. It's actually to see if I have a breast cancer gene because it's in my family. My grandmother and my sister had breast cancer. I don't think my sister had the gene, but anyway, but with the lymphoma and actually lots of other different kinds of cancers that are in my family, they're just gonna test and see and rule that out, hopefully. But because of the lymphoma, I cannot have it just done a regular blood test. Have to have it a biopsy from some skin on my arm. Lovely, right? Yeah, so that should be fun. Anyway, I'm gonna do what I do. Get the animals going. I think we have a rooster. One of the smaller ones is kind of showing signs. I think that it's probably a rooster. If that's the case, we'll have to take care of that because we can't have a rooster. They're too loud. Although, down the street here, we hear a rooster all the time. Somebody has one. Either way, we don't want to bother the neighbors. So, okay, I'm just going to get these guys done and then we'll talk a little bit after. And as always, even though the turkeys don't like it, I can hear them over there. We start with the little guys. And we actually do have more chicks on the side porch now. So I gotta go over there and do them as well. As you can see, I started ripping out the lettuces over here because everything's bolted. And I'd like to start planting new stuff in there. I have other seeds that I gotta get in the ground to have a fall crop. So I want to go ahead and get that going. All right, little guys are done. I'm gonna get the big guys done now. I'll do the ones on the side porch after because I can just walk into my house for that. All right, animals are done for now. We will be back out checking waters and feed a little bit later because you got to do that. Especially on these hot days, they go through water really fast. What, kitty kitty? What, you hungry? Bee's in there barking over something. What you doing, Bella? Bella Boo! Bella is training to be a farm dog. She's actually doing really well now. So we have smaller hens that keep getting out of the fence. And I don't know why, because they should be getting shocked getting in and out of this fence, but they're not at all. And so we're training her to get them back in the fence until it's actually time. Ooh, lots of bees, lots of bees. I see them all. Hey. We're training her to get them back in the fence, and, you know, without harming them, obviously. She's never harmed a chicken. All right, I'm gonna go in here. Actually, I gotta turn these fences back on, but I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna see if there's anything to harvest to put out into the farm stand. I don't think anything's ready quite yet, but we're gonna look. I have about an hour before my appointment, or before I have to leave for my appointment. So I figured I'll get as much done as I can. I've got the baking done. I made banana bread and peanut butter chocolate chip cookies and bread, or rolls, I should say. I've done a lot already. All right, let's see if there's anything in here. Lots of bees, lots of bees. I'm seeing them everywhere. This is great. All right, I have to thin out some beets. So when I planted these, they were smaller, I guess, but they were ready to be transplanted. But because of how thin they are and the way that I started them, there was like a bunch of them together in a thing. So it was just easier to kind of plant them in clumps. And yes, I know you're not supposed to do that, but I did. But it's not a big deal because I have all of these beet leaves that you can eat. Beet leaves are edible. And what I'm just gonna do is just thin them out and just use whatever the small ones are. They're still edible. You can still eat them. It's not a big deal. And like we have some that are like really big in here, and some that are getting bigger. But there's some that are just too close together, and because they're so close together, it's hindering their growth. So that's all I'm going to do today, is just kind of thin out and take some of the smaller ones out. Like I've got one here. I don't know if you'd even be able to see this. I'll see if I can show you. So here, you can see, here's a big beet. You can see it's coming out of the ground. That's right here. This is a big one. But right here, next to it, is another beet, but you don't see anything really there. That is either it's just leaves right now, or there's a little beet under there. Sorry, I've got the camera mixed. And it's gonna, you know, hinder the growth of this bigger one. So I'm gonna take this one out. And see, it's actually two of them. See, it's just literally like a tiny little thing, but you can still eat these leaves. So like I said before, nothing goes to waste. From what I understand, they're supposed to be about golf ball size. I think last year I grew beets, but they didn't work out so well. But I grew them in the back, and I don't think the soil was right. It's just because it was too close to other beets, so it wasn't able to grow. But again, still edible. And if you don't want to eat these, feed them to the animals. Nothing goes to waste. All right, I'm gonna get this whole thing thinned out, and we'll be on to the next thing. Some of these are pretty big, but they're not big enough quite yet, so I'm gonna leave them for a little bit longer. All right, guys, that's a lot. And there's still a full bed in there. So I'm gonna bring these back here and clean them and get them ready for the farm stand. So I just found out we have a tornado watch right now, and it's probably not going to do anything. We did get a tornado here 10 years ago or something like that, but Doesn't happen very often here in the Northeast, but we do have a watch for it. So we'll be paying attention to that. In the meantime, though, I do still have work to get done, so I'm going to... Today is supposed to be a cleaning day, so it is mucking out the stable, it's cleaning the shed, it is, I've already done a lot of the weeding in the front garden. I did actually most of that last night out of the beds. I do still have a little bit more to do up there, but for the most part, that part is done. So I'll be out here doing more stuff. I want to get, as I said in the last video, really want to get this area done. All of this. This is right here. I already pulled all the bolted lettuces and stuff. I got to do this side still, but that side still it's got lots of weeds and grass stuff growing in it. So I do still have to clear that out and plant the seeds that I want to plant here. When I cleared out the lettuces in the front, I actually planted seeds for herbs. So planted basil, thyme, oregano, and I think parsley maybe. I can't remember if I did that. I am going to go into potatoes again and see if there's any more above the ground. I do know that potatoes are not supposed to be exposed to the sunlight. So like they're not supposed to stick out of the ground because they'll turn green. And I guess that makes them poisonous. But hey honey. I did. Wasn't that crazy?
Yeah. The one that
Crazy.
woke me up was that really
loud one.
And then there was like another one that sounded like lightning hit the
Like
ground
hit something, right? Yeah, I heard that. It was like a big crash. Yeah, we had some crazy storms last night in the middle of the night.
I didn't know we were gonna get that.
Yeah, neither did I. It was nuts. All right, so anyway, I'll be checking the potatoes, but mainly today is gonna be a cleaning day. And so Aiden's out here, I gotta get Emily, and we're gonna get things cleaned up.